think.
Yes. So actually, I wanted to say that you need to give some time. Let things you need to understand what things are going on into your environment. Accordingly, you
Yeah,
can
yeah,
start working on that. There's not an issue. You must be like telling to the telling to you and to your team that this is thing which is not happening and these things need to be
yeah.
done. And even though if you're not familiar with the things, it will be very difficult for to tell your team members that why this things has not been completed, why this
Right.
task is still remaining. Because I was also already worked as a team leader, so I know
Okay. Yeah.
how to handle the team. So that is why I
Oh
know
yeah.
that is thing
That
that
is,
this is the thing which is required from our side to make this thing happen. To
yeah.
first we need to understand the things. So anyway, this is the individual member and this is the groups.
Mm-hmm.
They are all the groups. They are all groups here.
Okay.
So this is the individual member here. It has admin rights. So
Where
if you
is the
want,
manager? My manager Jitendra Kumar
okay,
too.
okay. Like if you are, what's your account? MD,
MDI. MDI.
MDI.
Mm-hmm. That's
Okay,
it. Underscore ADM. Or maybe.
you must be in somewhere in group.
Just put MDI maybe.
Okay, so you must be in some other group. Anyway, so these are the users which you can see.
Mm-hmm.
Let's find all. So all of the users are here and the groups are also here. So I don't know which group you comes in. So you can find out accordingly. So
Okay.
let's come with the main topic here. The first topic is this. So these are the pools. These are the desktop pools.
Pools.
Yes,
Okay. Desktop.
these are the desktop pools. So
Mm-hmm.
this one is Robert Win 7. I don't know what type of name they have given. So these are the
Mm-hmm.
dedicated and floating. Let me expand some more. So it will be good to understand. See, this is a group and this is also a group. All are the groups you can see here. So they have segregated by the ID. So they have some naming conventions. So accordingly, so Robot Win7, Robot Win7 Prod for protection, TFS
Mm-hmm.
partners, persistent. So
Mm-hmm.
these are the servers. You have some HCL.
iPad.
Yes,
So I why like iPad is also part of VDIX.
yes, it is there. So there must be some uh, I can say I will check in details one by one.
Mm-hmm.
So they have SCL service desk team. So they have one VDI, not one VDI. You can say it's a pool, desktop pool for them.
Mm-hmm.
So Cognizant, TCX, Sutherland, and many other things. Teleperformance. Yeah. So the two things comes here first. You need to understand this is this is a user assigned. User assignment. User assignment means there are two
Mm-hmm.
kind of VDI comes in here. The first is dedicated, and the second one is floating. Floating means like the dedicate. Let's come on to the dedicate. Dedicate, what is it is dedicate? So let me
Like
double click on it.
permanent thing.
Yes, that is a permanent thing. So let's say you log into the server, you will be getting a
Mm-hmm.
one hard drive and some sort of memories and CPU. So
Mm-hmm.
that all are not shared by any other. So these are dedicated. If I have given you 4 GB of RAM and two cores of CPU, so that will be
Mm-hmm.
for your account. That will be for you only. It cannot be shared to any other VDI. Also, whatever you are keeping document into the VDI or any things which you are if you have work on the Windows Microsoft Word file or Excel
Mm-hmm.
and you are keeping you are saving the data. Let's say you open a spreadsheet and
Mm-hmm.
you have given you have make some entries there and that entries you will be saving there. So that entry will remain as it is into your VDI. It will never go anywhere. So it's a dedicated machine for the user. It will remain every time, every time it will remain there. The data will not go
Mm-hmm.
away. And let me come back. And the floating part here,
Mm-hmm.
and the floating is here. Whatever you are writing,
Mm-hmm.
it will wipe up next time when you log off.
Okay, okay, got it.
Right?
Like it has to be saved on somewhere, like a flash drive or somewhere. Like
Yes,
if the
yes,
data needs to be saved,
yes.
but
And
it's like always like fresh. Like once it's locked up, everything is wiped out. Everything is like.
for that, let me check some things there. There must be some profile which need to be
Mm-hmm.
configured for the user. So in that way, what we can do, how can we survive, how can we protect our data if the floating is behaving in such kind of environment. Let's say if we have write down something on a file, or we have updated a file of a spreadsheet, and
Mm-hmm.
once I log out, it must wipe out everything. To protect that, we always use mm, a profile management. So what
Okay.
profile management does, we will create a profile somewhere into your ESXi, or
Mm-hmm.
some other server which we have dedicatedly configured for the horizon, and that pro and there must be some folder or storage where we are keeping that profile, and that profile folder will be saving your data there.
Mm.
So in that way we can protect our data. So let me check somewhere. So the dedicate means, whenever you see dedicate means it has been dedicated to the team members or user.
Mm-hmm.
So that will be dedicated. We cannot.
So, but it's part of like VDIX, like
Yes,
the
yes, yes.
VM,
That will be
like
part
like
of.
VMware, part of VMware, like
Yes, that will be part of VMware. But this is something called VDI environment,
VDI, Virtual Desktop Infrastructure.
virtual desktop yes, infrastructure. So, or
Mm-hmm.
somebody says interface or something like that.
Okay.
So
Okay.
it's a desktop infrastructure, you can say VDI. So
Like it's desktop, the user is using desktop but virtually, like through
virtually,
the virtual VMware.
exactly, exactly.
Okay,
They will be having
got it.
some kind of portal where they can keep
Mm-hmm.
put enter username, password,
Mm-hmm.
and domain name. The moment when they enter, they will be getting some of the screen, like the desktop screen, small kind of icon of the computer. There you can
Mm-hmm.
double click on it, and you will be entering into your desktop pool environment. So this is
Mm.
the inventory. Let me I'm on the desktop pool, the VDIX 0100, and I was on the summary, and I just click on inventory. Under inventory you can see these are the virtual machine, these are the VDI machine which is falling
Mm-hmm.
into this pool. So these are the available virtual machine, I mean VDI machines,
Okay.
available
Okay.
machines. You can see the status is available,
Mm.
right? And the version they are using, that is 7.60.
Okay.
And these are the data stores. These are the data stores. Data stores means,
vSAN.
yes, vSAN is a data store where
So vSAN is a type of storage, right?
it's a type of storage, but the storage will be something EMC into environment, or HP, or Dell. So what happens? There must be on the storage we used to create LUNs, or what I can say, um, volumes. Under volumes we
Mm-hmm.
used to create LUNs. After creating a LUN, we used to configure that LUN directly to the EXI server or vCenter dedicatedly. So there is also another process. We need to create a data store. And after creating a
Mm-hmm.
data store, we need to assign that LUN from the storage to the ESXi servers or vCenter directly. So that's
Mm.
how these are the data store are getting connected into the environment, or these data store has been connected through the vCenter, and that is why it is appearing here. You can see that.
Okay, so data stores are like separate thing. Like after configure the virtual thing machine, they connect it with the data store, like by using the port
Yes,
thing.
yes, that is why
Okay,
our
okay.
on the data store always we can find all the virtual machine will be residing there only. So there is a two
Oh,
kind of data stores available. The first data
mhm,
store is itself ESXi host has always have one local data store, and that local
mhm,
data store is only for the ESXi server for operating application.
mm,
If you are putting any of the virtual machine, if you are creating any virtual machine inside the local data store, that will not be that virtual machine will not come into the environment. If something is required for the vMotion or HA, that virtual
mhm,
machine will not be a part of the vCenter anymore. So some uh, in anyhow we have to have one data store, or it's all according to your environment. We have to have a data store.
mhm,
So accordingly, we can configure HA, high availability, fault tolerance for each virtual machine, and
mhm,
vMotion for moving virtual machine from the one ESXi host to the another ESXi host if required
mhm,
for the resource crunch. Okay, I will tell you
mhm,
in details everything. Don't worry. So these are the version for the agent version. What agent we are using to connect VDI? So
mhm,
these are the ESXi host. So these are the virtual machine, sorry, VDI machine has been established from the ESXi host.
mm,
So this machine has been established from this ESXi host. So you have many of the ESXi host available, and you have a one data store which is connected for this VDI machines. So we are using only
mm,
one data store. You can see P and X and PRD VDI 001, VDI
mhm.
001, 001, 001, 001, 001, all are 001. That
Okay.
means we are for the VDI perspective, we have
Mhm.
only one data store available where
Test
we can
available.
where we can define all the virtual VDI machines into this pool,
VDIX,
into
yeah,
this pool, into this pool, especially.
into this pool. Okay.
Yes, and now these are the inventory. You can see available status. So these machines are still available with these
Mhm.
users. You can see
Mm.
this user is still online with this virtual machine. This user is online with this virtual machine. I mean VDI machine.
PDM.
Yes. But anyway, one thing we need to understand. These are the dedicated machine. That is why all are available.
Mhm.
That is why all are available. If it is floating, you will find some of disconnected, or some of them they have some other issue, and some of them they are in idle state. Some of them they are available. So we will look into that also. So before that, I will explain you each and everything. Session.
Mm.
Let's come to the session. So there's no session available. How come? Yeah. So this is a group. One group is,
Mhm.
sorry, I did not see any session available here. So let this come because it is still spinning up. So there is no session available here. So let me check in the entitle. So this is the one group which is entitled
Mm.
for this desktop pool, that is
Mhm.
dedicated. From the events you can see how virtual machine is being provisioning. How
Mhm.
virtual machine is being provisioning means, so they have, these are the information you can see. These are the users. They have tried to get login to the VDI. So it
Mhm.
will show you the message and it will show you also the information. If there is an error issue, like if they are experiencing issue with the login and the user cannot able to log in, you will find some of the errors or alerts and warnings here.
If it is like Horizon VMware related,
Yes,
right?
yes. These are I'm telling
Events
I'm just telling about all of the things here for the Horizon VDI.
Horizon, because we
Yes.
are in the Horizon platform right now.
Yes, yes, we are on the Horizon
Yeah.
platform. So everything we will be talking here about Horizon. So whenever you see any of the errors, any of the alerts or any other thing, warnings, so you will find here, you will get the information
Mm-hmm.
here and message how how the users have been logged in. If something is their issue, it will show you
Mm-hmm.
here. So this user has one information. This time that he tried to get login to the machine, and this has been logged in successfully. This has been logged off at the moment. So you can see this was this has been disconnected. So disconnected means he did not completely logged off.
Okay.
He just go
Got it.
and disconnect the machine. The way when we disconnect the server, we just click on the cross button. So this is how we disconnect the environment or server.
But I usually log off.
Yes, the correct way is log off. Go to the
Okay,
server
okay.
and
Yeah.
log off completely.
Log off, yeah. I do log off.
Yes, sign out. So this is the way to make it like you need to explain all the users if something is coming to the if there are
Mm-hmm.
any issues coming regularly. You need to speak first that uh, you try to explain that you need to log off all the virtual machines or I
Mm-hmm.
mean VDI machines, because most of the issues occurs from the disconnection.
Mm-hmm.
Users never ever log off their VDI. They just disconnect, and once they try to get login after an hour, I can say, or after half an hour, they will find some difficulties to get login again. So it's
Okay,
better way
okay.
you need to tell them to all the users first thing first. You if you are going out somewhere, or if you are just if your shift is getting end and you're closing the VDI, you don't need to disconnect the machine. You need to properly log off.
Okay, this is one thing.
This is the first thing you need to explain to all the users.
Yeah, I see every day a lot of emails like users are locked out, users are
Yes,
locked out.
yes.
Mostly locked out issues and memory, like storage issues. I see a lot.
Okay, okay. So these are the things, and these are some of the policies at the moment. Let's see.
Mm-hmm.
Media restrictions. So let's say if somebody is trying to enter or allowing his USB,
Mm-hmm.
I mean, excuse me,
Sure, sure.
or somebody is trying to enter USB or hard drive, any other thing into the computer, what it happens when the USB enter into the computer or any other laptop, VDI will automatically understand some hardware has been connected to the parent machine, and
Mm-hmm.
that will also reflect into the VDI also. So, so they have created a policy which it's all up to desktop pool environment how they have created. For this desktop pool, you can check from this,
Mm-hmm.
and I will not go into that. It will already you can see from the media restrictions, any of the USB or
Mm-hmm.
any of the hard drive will not be allowed. You can see global policy, it is not allowed, deny, it
Mm.
is denied. Inherit means whatever the groups are there, it will always inherited to all the desktop pools.
Like no USB or nothing will be.
Yes, now this is the media restrictions. I don't know how what media restriction makes sense into your environment, but here the USB
Mm-hmm.
access is allowed. Here you can
Okay.
see it is allowed from the applied policy. And
Mm-hmm.
PCOIP is a
PCI.
hardware acceleration. There's a two kind of protocol.
Mm-hmm.
There's a two kind of protocol. If you are learning VMware Horizon, you have to understand two things. POC, PCOIP is a protocol which is which work in a binary, and if you are doing a normal work, like if you are just doing a server work and Linux environment, if you are into Linux environment, you can configure PCOIP protocol, which will not give you any of the issues. Again, if you are using environment which has more graphically, and you have some like applications for, like, you are doing some painting and editing tools and video editing, many other things which need some more graphics and more memory, there will be another protocol which comes, blast protocol, BLAST,
Okay.
blast. It's a two protocol comes here into the horizon environment, PCOIP and blast. So you have configured here PCOIP protocol, that is allowed medium priority. So you have set it a priority as a medium into the global policy. That is also
Okay.
inherited. So you can understand these are two protocols, blast, 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 and PCOIP. These are two protocols which this requires to run as a VDI. So here, if you wanted to, if you are trying to create a new desktop pool and that pool does not work out, you can directly delete from here. Or if you wanted to do some changes, you can click on edit and do the changes accordingly.
Okay.
I just click on edit, and
Yeah, I saw that.
we
Yeah.
will see what
Okay.
we can do here. You can enable
Okay.
automatic assignment. So these are the naming convention. When we assign, when we create any uh, pool, we always give this kind of random number. So it will be VDI X01 and 00. 00 means whatever from 90 up from 1 to 99, any of the virtual machine comes in, it will come 0, 1, 0, 2, 0, 3, 0, 4, then 11, 12, 13, 14. That kind of
It
random
will go
number
up to 99.
99. Yes,
999.
yes, exactly. So these are the big configuration. We will explain you later, but I would like to
Sure.
tell you the basic thing which is very important to
Yeah, yeah.
understand. And this is the connection for the vCenter. You can see, you can target as a template and the VM folder where you wanted to follow that VDI, in which folder, and which is the host. If you are have one ESXi host, you can assign directly here, resource pool, another thing. So these are the advanced level, but best that you can understand the basic things. Untitled,
Yeah, I got the like desktop idea a little bit.
right?
Like, yeah.
Status. Okay, so let me come again to this pool. Okay, now
Cognizant.
so I just right click on it on this VDI. You can, okay, one thing, status, group, more commands. There's another thing I need to tell where it is.
vCenter.
Okay, I wanted to come to the floating. I would like to explain that also. So the second one is Windows 7 for production. Robot Windows 7. So you can see number of maximum machine which is allowed here on the floating VDI pool.
Yeah.
And you can see there's a one policy which is automatic log off after disconnection. Let's see, if user disconnected, they did not log off completely. So
Okay, automatic log off after a minute.
yeah, once they disconnected, it will automatically logged off after a minute.
That's good.
So now here if even though if user is still disconnecting and and the machine is not getting logged off completely, then we need to work out. Right. And the protocol which you are using for this, it is RDP, Remote Desktop Protocol from Microsoft.
Okay.
There's another protocol which is not it is not a blast, it's not a PCOIP, it is RDP. Right. And the HTML access is disabled, and 3D renderer it is also disabled, and not other things which I can see. This is a naming pattern. When we create a pool, we always give a naming pattern, as I told you, 01, 02, 03, something related to that.
Yeah.
And I wanted to show that thing which is not coming here. The same version I already worked on, Horizon 7.
This Horizon 7.
Yes, 2 years ago.
Okay.
So that is
So
why
VMware is a like operating system or what? Like it's a platform. So I
VMware.
can see Horizon. I can
Yes,
see.
yes. VMware is a platform, and it has a many suites available. So I can
Okay.
say it has a many flavors. VMware, it's a completely, I can say it's a one company which has many products available. So for VMware, there's a orchestrator also there. SRM is also there. Site Recovery Manager. VMware Horizon is for VDIs, and Operation Manager is also there. There are many other things. There, it has. You will see into your environment. You will be finding many other products available from the VMware. So,
Okay. Okay.
so the application pool, the first, I'll forget to tell you. These are the desktop pools. Desktop pools, like you will be getting desktops here,
Desktop.
only desktops here.
Right.
And
Desktop.
some user says that I don't require any desktop. I just only want application to work on. So for that,
Okay.
you can create a application pool and you can assign any of the application which is available there. If somebody says I need Office package, so you can
Okay.
assign Office package, like which comes under Word, Excel, PowerPoint, Outlook, and other things. If someone says no, I need AutoCAD, I need Adobe Reader, I need other application which can be
Okay.
Notepad or Paint.
Maybe Zoom, Paint. Yeah.
Yes, yes.
Other
Or
things.
some applications for meeting. So here you can assign that application, and you can assign
Okay.
to the
Okay.
group or any single user. In
Hmm.
absence something else which need to be understood later. And these are the farm. Farm is not being configured into your environment.
What is farm?
Farm is basically like a pool. It's kind of pool, we can say, which is randomly working for the groups. So farm, you generally won't see into your environment, not your environment, even many of the environment you won't see farm. But farm is something is very rare. uh, Administrator users, they never work on farms. Farms basically comes on a Citrix way.
Okay.
So
Oh,
here,
by the way, I have to ask you a question. Do you also know Citrix?
yes,
Or
yes, yes, I know Citrix. Currently I'm working on Citrix.
okay, okay. Because I have a friend, like he works for FEMA,
Uh-huh.
which is it's a, like Department of Homeland Security.
All right.
So
Uh-huh.
they like he needs
Some
help with Citrix.
assistance.
You know, he's looking for someone who
Uh-huh.
can
Okay.
like mentor him
So
for the Citrix.
he just wanted to understand the Citrix, or he has some issues on the Citrix to make that issue rectified.
He wants to understand like whatever like you are like the way you are helping me. He
Mm-hmm.
needs kind of
All
some
right.
sort of help like
So
that.
ask them
So he
what Citrix version
yeah
he is using. He is using Citrix Studio or Zen Server. There's a
okay
two flavors for the for Citrix, the Zen Server and the other one is Citrix Studio. So
okay
if ask him if what kind of flavor he is using. I will help him, no problem.
okay. I'll let him know.
Okay, so after farms, this is the machine. So you can see these are the machines which is randomly coming into your pool.
Mm-hmm.
So you have a very big list here for Vdi. You can see it starts from here,
Oh
and
yeah.
it will be going, and some of
It's
the
a lot.
you
It's a
can see,
lot.
you can see on the status, you can see this is connected, and these available machines, you can see these are the available. These are available from the dedicated.
Mm-hmm.
This machine is available, but it has not been connected to the users. You
Okay.
understand? This is
Yeah.
available, but has not been connected.
Like they can be used at any time.
Yes, it
They
comes
can be
randomly.
connected at any
It
time.
can be,
Okay.
it can come randomly in the floating.
Mm-hmm.
You can say, if you're saying, I did not explain one more thing also. Let's come to the desktop pool, and this one, inventory. So let's say TSM Toyota, uh, Ba-
Babia come.
Babia KM. I don't know
Okay.
how do you pronounce. So Babia KM is already dedicated. This user is dedicated for this 25
Right.
machine. This machine number 25. So whenever Babika KM will log in
Mm-hmm.
his machine, it will dedicatedly assigned this machine to this user.
Okay.
This user will not accept this machine because it will never come. This machine will
Okay.
always appear for this machine, for this user. So
For this user.
here, for similarly here on the floating, under floating, so here is no user is assigned. So let's say I'm assigned here. My name is I logged in into this machine.
Mm-hmm.
So when I disconnect this machine, and if I'm trying to get login again, this is not like a uh, this is not really that I will be getting this machine again. I can get any of the machine from here because this
Okay.
has not been dedicated to me. So this is a different here, floating and dedicate. Give me a minute. Give me a minute. My wife is just coming.
Sure. Sure. Yeah. Yeah. Sure.
So what I'm saying,
Mm-hmm.
it is not dedicated under floating pool. It has not been dedicated to any other user, to
Mm-hmm.
any user even. So when they logged out, it will completely logged out from the machine. When they try to get again to log in with their user account, so they can get any of the random machine from here.
Mm.
So here you can say this is connected. So many of the users, you can see here. This is, I don't know.
Mm.
I need to check what is this. User unassigned maintenance refresh table. Let me refresh the table. Content. Something has configured in different way. I need to understand that.
Sure.
Okay, the available means for the machine is for floating,
Mm-hmm.
but they have not given any indication which machine is for floating and which machine for dedicate. Anyway, so you can see, and all the available is here for random machines. I can say floating
Mm-hmm.
machines. And now you can see this is disconnected. This is disconnected. This is disconnected from the I can say from dedicated machine. That is why it is saying
Okay.
disconnected, because they have, it has been not logged in properly. So
Okay.
let's check once again. VDIX7067. No, 7067706. So this is dedicated. You can see. Uh,
Mm.
this is dedicated assignment. So this pool is for HCL. You can see HCL service desk.
Mm-hmm.
This is dedicated assignment. So that is why it was appearing disconnected. Now this user, one of the user from here inventory, you can see he or she has been logged in properly, but they did not log off. So you can see some of the machine is disconnected mode. Disconnected. Available means this is available, but it's not been connected properly. So once the
Yeah.
user comes in, and he will log into the machine. Or the other already this user you can see here. This has been dedicated for this machine. This dedicated for this machine.
Mm.
So you have very big list. You need to understand if if you are facing any resource crunch or anything else. So you can check which machine is still disconnected if it is in floating environment.
Okay.
Let's say if I'm giving you example, one user, not one user. Let's say me. I am the one who is using floating pool,
Okay.
desktop pool, which is floating. Floating means
Mm-hmm.
it's not being
Temporary, like it's gonna be
temporary.
everything gonna be wiped up after log off.
Exactly. Wiped up after log off. But you will be having a one profile where all the profile, all the pictures, all the documents um, which is getting saved from other location. But the machine will get wiped out. Right. You will be not getting
Right.
same machine again. Simple thing. So what I was saying that where I was. I wanted to say something. It's just skipped from my mind to tell you.
Like this, like
Okay, so two things here. The first is the dedicated, and the other thing. Yeah, I got you. I got the thing. So let's say if I am the user, I'm using floating environment for the desktop pool. If
mm-hmm.
I just logged in and somehow somebody says that Vivek, just come and have a cup of tea.
Mm.
Just wait for 5 minutes. I have to have one meeting with you. So what I did, I just logged in, and within a minute I just disconnected the VDI. Now
Okay.
what somehow your policy is not working, which need to be which need to be logged off, a disconnected machine.
Right.
If the policy is not working, what would happen if I'm coming again after 5 minutes? The session which is already been established for me, it will remain there, but it is still in disconnected mode. What I will do, I will come again and I will try to get login with my account, same account, the one which I already opened, and the
Mm-hmm.
session is already been established for me.
This.
I am still trying
Mm-hmm.
to get that session to establish again. There you will get some difficulties. Now the user will say me. I will say, Junaid, now I'm facing problem. I I cannot able to log in. I tried many
Okay.
times. I cannot able to log in. In that way, what you can ask the user, tell me your username. He or she will tell you username. You can find the user and check the if the session is still established, and if this user is still in available or connected mode. Uh, the, the way you can see here, under status, you can see if the user is still connected. Like it's not. I think nobody is there available at that time. Is like this. If you are watching for my account,
Mm.
if my account
Yeah.
says that it is connected, you can do one thing,
But you cannot log in.
but I cannot log in. What I am
Mm-hmm.
doing here, I am trying to establish another connection,
Carried.
which is
Yeah.
second connection, and now the horizon will not accept this. What it is saying, horizon, you are already been your session is
Connected. Yeah.
already been established,
Accepted.
so it will not allow me to give me again another session. So
Right.
that's how user get conflict and they get confused. They said that now my user account is not working, my VDI
Mm-hmm.
is not working. As an Horizon administrator, VDI administrator, you need to check under status which, if my account is already been connected, you need to right click on it and go and log off the session.
Okay.
The moment when
Then
you
I'll tell the user to log in,
try again,
log back.
yes,
Try.
try
Okay.
again. Once it is logged off
Mm.
properly from here, you will see it will not remain as a connected. It will say available. That means this machine is available for the next login.
Mm-hmm.
Available machine means this machine is available for the next login.
Mm.
So that is how you can understand if the situation is coming in that way. You can understand, look the user, how the user is being connected. If it is
Okay.
still disconnected mode, you can see, you have seen that some of the users they were in disconnected mode. This is disconnected.
Mm-hmm.
In that situation also, you will see the same the same scenario will also come here, but you need to figure it out which pool it is. I'm just giving you idea. I will also tell you.
Yeah, yeah.
That is because we need to understand the naming convention, how the naming convention is being configured. But here under machine, you will find all the virtual machines, all the VDI machines available. But from the desktop pool, we need to understand. Okay, one more thing. Let me check. There must be some columns where we can understand the better way. Okay, all are selected. So there is no way we can understand which machine is for dedicated and floating. So from the naming convention, we can understand.
Maybe they have like naming
Yes,
something
from
naming.
from that we can understand. So this
Yeah.
situation will also come for you. You will need to just right click on that and log off the session, and that's how you can make it.
Got it.
Right. Now,
Yeah.
the other thing is that if somebody says or your manager says, Junaid, uh, from the
Mm.
dedicated machine, one user is not working anymore. So what you need to do, you need to make that virtual machine as you need to make that VDI machine into the maintenance mode. Or
Okay.
there will be another situation. Now what the user is saying, me as a user, if I say you my machine is not booting anymore,
Okay.
it's not booting, it,
Mm-hmm.
it is showing only the black screen or blue screen, which is
Mm.
indicating like your memory issue or CPU issue. So
Mm.
in that situation, what you can do, let's say for example, if this machine is dedicated assigned to me, so you can right click on the machine and click on the enter maintenance mode.
Enter maintenance mode.
Yes, you
Mm-hmm.
can click on the enter maintenance mode. The moment when you click on the enter maintenance mode, this machine will not be a part of Horizon. It will stay
Okay.
away. It will never come again into the pool. It will remain there.
Mm-hmm.
It will remain there. But from as a user, I cannot able to log in. As a user, I cannot able to log in into the machine, which is dedicatedly assigned to me. So now, what you can do, you can open the console and check how the machine is behaving. If something is required, you need to configure that machine, you need to add some other resources, you need to do some changes, you need some other thing like you need
Mm-hmm.
to check out what operating system is behaving. If you can make that
Mm-hmm.
machine as if you understand better how to resolve the issue
Mm-hmm.
for the operating system, you can start working on that. There will be two issues comes in the picture. The first one is for the Horizon, like VDI issues. It can be a memory issue or CPU issue, if or
Mm-hmm.
there will be a issue that machine is not accepting any session of a session, or still cannot able to launch. The other thing is that the operating system issue.
Mm.
Operating system can be a also issue. So most of the times you will not find the issue for the operating system, but you will find the issues for the VDI. So this is the persistent disk,
Mhm.
and the persistent disk. Let me wait whether you have in your environment is been configured or not. No, it is not configured into
I
your
think it's not
environment.
configured.
So persistent disk is a disk which is assigned here, and it can be assigned to the user also. So you can say it's like a map drive.
Mhm.
There will be a dedicated drive here, and let's say 1 TB drive if I configured here or attach here 1 TB drive, I can assign that drive to the users. So user will be a part of the hard drive, and later what they can
Mm.
do, they can configure that persistent disk as a map drive.
Okay.
You know map drive?
Yeah, like the shared
Yes,
drive,
exactly,
right?
exactly. You're correct. So as a shared drive, they can assign into
Mhm.
their operating system this disk, which has
Okay.
not been configured here. That is the other thing. So this is the events. Event
So
says
these virtual desktops are like in the data center. This
yes.
physical desktops are in the like data center.
No, it is a part of ESXi servers. What is happening here? We have some servers configured, the connection servers, and we center server which is provisioning all the VDI machines, and yes, and as I told you in the beginning,
Like,
I've given you idea how they are the part of the VDI. You have three connection servers available. Because of these three connection servers, you are getting VDI, and
okay,
these are the servers which is playing a part of Horizon.
okay. These are like clusters,
It's a kind of cluster, you can say. It's a kind of
kind of.
cluster, but
Okay.
you have only three machines available. It's not a. It is not a. You can say it's a cluster.
Okay,
You can say
like
cluster.
under each machine there are like that many of like floating desktops or whatever, like dedicated desktops. Like under all those like
No, no, these are
these
not
three.
these not machines. These are just the features. These are
Okay,
features.
okay.
These are features. I'm talking about system health. You can see system health here under view components. Under view components,
Hmm.
this is the connection server. You have three connection servers available. If one
Okay,
connection server goes fail, two will be the responsible for to operate all the VDIs. If one go
okay,
away,
okay.
if something happens with the one from one and third will be
Hmm.
the one and three first server and the third server will be the responsible to operate Horizon.
Hmm.
So these are the database server, and these are the data stores. Database servers which has all the entries for it has a SQL it is a SQL server which is keeping all the entries for the logs, for the sessions,
Hmm.
and how the users are accessing. They have a big database, right? So
Right,
these are data stores. Data stores like the share disk from the storage,
right.
and these are the ESI host, which is where all the VDIs are configured Be-
Okay.
because it has a resource. That is why the VDIs are running because of these ESXi servers.
Hmm.
If you have any confusion, you can ask. I will elaborate more because I don't
Yeah,
know
yeah, no problem.
where
Yeah,
did you stuck. I need to make the thing should be understandable.
clear to me. Yeah,
if
yeah,
I'm
yeah.
if I'm saying if you're not getting those points, you can raise the hand. You can tell me. By the time
Definitely.
I will make that. I will
Like
make.
the thing is, like I'm trying to
Mhm.
get the overall idea, like the overall infrastructure. How does it work? Like who is using what and how does the system work?
Okay, now still you have confusion. I will explain again.
No, no, I got it. I got it now. I got the overall
Yes.
explanation. This
So,
3 accounts,
so
3 connections.
to run VDI, we required these components.
Components,
Yes.
components. Yeah,
Domain should be there, right?
right.
So
Domain. Yeah, it's the
you have two
must
domains.
thing.
You have domain.
Yeah.
You must have a one vCenter server, which is
Mm-hmm.
which is it is, and you must have some ESXi host. ESXi host has some resources where you can provision all the virtual machines. I mean, all the VDI machines. Provision means if
Mm-hmm.
somebody is trying to get login simultaneously or similarly there or same time, the VDI machine will be available, and that will be those machine will be available on the ESXi host because it is the resource where they can
Mm-hmm.
deploy once they log in. It will happen in the case of floating, but the
Mm.
session will be there available, but they will be not it will be not connected to the ESXi servers. The session will be there. You will find all the sessions will be there, but once the user get login, they will get virtual VDI machines from these ESXi hosts, and the data they are going to save, they will be going to save into these data stores, and all those data store having a one profile that will be profile management,
Mm-hmm.
and you will be having three servers. They are the connection servers. They are big responsible for they are the responsible to run to run VMware Horizon application.
Mm.
You see, you have replication. Let me get into that. The first server, 1350 is the first one, and the 1352 is the last one. So what is happening here? This server, whatever the entries coming into this 1350, it is also replicating here as well.
Got it.
You understand what I'm explaining here?
Yeah, I know. I know
Now,
replication.
now in this case, if
Mm-hmm.
the first server, the 1350 will get down
Down.
in any case, this server will be responsible to run VMware Horizon
Yeah.
application.
Right.
Right?
Within a second, like it will be
Yes,
up and
it
running.
will switch to the other one.
Switch to the.
Now,
Mhm.
now it is also saying the same thing, but this will be on the standby, I guess. I will check more things than I will explain you. But you can
Okay.
see you can understand first and the third server
Yeah.
is replicating all the time. Whenever any user comes in, they try to log in or they have saved any other application, any other file, it will get replicate here. Just to
Isn't it very expensive to do
yes,
the replication?
yes, little bit it is expensive. So what replication happens if you have, let's say, New York, you are living in New York, and your
Hmm.
office is in, I can say, Texas,
Texas. Yeah.
right? So I will keep one server in New York, and I will keep another server in Texas,
Mm-hmm.
and somehow my primary site will be. Let me open up Paint. I guess that will be a good option for it.
Sure.
So let me try with a pen. Let's okay. I'm not very good in drawing.
No problem. I understand. It's nobody is good at it because you need a pen.
I require a pen. Yeah, this is a
Yeah.
primary, and this is a DR.
Right.
Right, this would be New York. This is Texas. I will indicate as a T.
Mm-hmm.
Right. So you are sitting here. For example, I'm giving you example. You are sitting here,
Mm-hmm.
you are operating everything here. Somehow
In
your
New York.
somehow your site goes down, completely
Okay.
down. Site goes down, completely down. What will happen? You will not do anything, right?
Business substitution like of the day-to-day activities will be
Yes.
off if there is no
So now,
failover
exactly,
activities.
exactly. So now they have created a site recovery manager. They are replicating. So whatever the things you are doing, it will also replicating here as well.
Hmm.
Right. I'm giving you idea for the SRM. It's just a short example. It will replicating here.
Understood. Yeah.
Right. It will
Mm-hmm.
be replicating here. So this is called directional. Right. Now, once let's say for example, uh, I will not give you example for if the site goes down completely. I will say some of the server goes down from this site. So what
Hmm.
happened? What happened? It will DR will it has a one like a heartbeat connection. It always speak. It always listen. Primary and DR, primary and DR. There will be
This
heartbeat.
is how they configure the disaster. They are
Yes, yes.
mm,
There will be a heartbeat. It
right.
always sense if the primary is giving respond to the DR. DR will understand yes everything is okay. Everything is okay. Everything is okay.
Mm-hmm.
Now if the DR is not getting any reply from the P from the primary side,
Right.
so what will happen? DR will get activated. It will understand now something is there from the
Okay.
primary side. That is why primary side is
It's
not
not responding.
responding. So I need to
Mm-hmm.
be active now. Something is wrong with the server itself. Now that server 1 I can say, server 2 and server 3, many servers are there. Now
Mm-hmm.
first server is completely down. Now what I will do, I will make the same copy will also be there. The one server will be there also in DR. And second server and third
Mm-hmm.
server will also be there. There is a copy of the servers actually. There will be a copy of the servers on the DR. So
Okay.
what will happen? First servers goes down and primary side is not giving any reply. So DR will understand something is wrong with the first server. What I will do, I will turn on the first server so the production will not get hampered.
Right.
So the end
So
user they will
it's
continue
like
working.
automatic failover, right?
Exactly, exactly. You are correct. 100% correct.
I got this idea because as I told you, I learned some
Exactly.
availability solution when I was in
Right,
SQL
right.
DBA.
So,
So this is how I know a little bit.
so once once the primary is not responding, DR will check also if something is wrong or not.
Mm-hmm.
That is called bidirectional.
Bidirectional.
Once DR will check, let me go and check. Let me see whether really the server is down or not. Once they go and check really the server is down, what it will do, it will come back here and try to turn on the server.
So that will become primary, and that will keep checking the
Yes,
primary server, the previous
yes,
primary
yes,
server.
yes. So
Okay.
this is the thing in the site recovery manager. This is the basic diagram, very basic diagram I've just showed you here.
Yeah, yeah.
So just to understand what exactly the SRM is. So same thing is also happening into your environment. It was just a small replication
Yeah.
where we were. I think
Okay, we were not here. Like
Explorer,
we.
Explorer,
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Administrator.
Explorer.
So one server goes down, another server will get active and start working as a Horizon application, and this service will keep on continue
Hmm.
without getting any hamper to the end users. Now
Understood.
let me come to the policies. If you have administrator account or rights, you
Mm-hmm.
will modify these settings, or you can check the configuration, what configuration has been configured into your environment. You can click on server. The server is for this is the vCenter connection,
Mm.
and the instant clone something is there. Yes, the TFS is instant clone kind of environment, and it has a license. You can see the license which will be showing here. This is the license. If you're required to update license, you can go to edit section, and you can
Okay.
put your license number directly here. If the license is getting expired, what is saying, let me check. This you know the concurrent
Nah.
connections.
No, no, no.
Concurrent connection is like random connections. You can say
Okay.
the random connections. It can be any. Like if I assign 7 users, if I have a
Okay.
license for 7 users, I will assign 7 users license. What will happen? The horizon will understand only the 7 user can able to active one time.
Okay.
So it cannot accept the 8 user because we have a license up to 7 users. So eight
So at the
user
same time.
yeah 8 user will not come and get access onto the into the horizon. So I'll
Yeah,
just give you the
Horizon
example. I'll just give
environment.
you the example. It is a total
Okay.
concurrent connections for 7, and highest is 456. Now
Hmm.
the total named users you have for the concurrent.
Mhm.
I'm sorry.
1506.
Yes, it is not available here. So the virtual machines you have available here, the highest 465. So instant clone is not there. So something is there which need to be which I can understand, which I can give you details later. So these are the global settings. The global setting is like a policy. So here you
Okay.
can you see this setting is something different here.
Uh-huh.
100 1414, that means 8 hours, I guess.
Okay. So these are like
Hmm.
configurations, right, for the
Yes, that's correct.
user servers.
Yes. Now what I'm doing, okay, leave it. It's something 8 hours. After 8 hours
1440 Hz.
user will get disconnected. It is forcefully. If
Mm-hmm.
user is sitting idle and disconnected state, after 8 hours it will be forcefully
What
disconnected.
about the data? The data will be saved
Data will be
after
saved.
log.
See, it is
Okay.
disconnected users. It is disconnected user. Yeah, even
Okay.
though if they have whatever the things which is running, it will save into the data store, and once they try to
Mm-hmm.
get login, they will find everything will be there, same position.
Okay.
Right. The single sign-on is enabled. So like you have a domain account for Toyota and you have name. So you can log in many of the applications, many of the uh, like the the user account you have for the ADM. You can even log in this. You can log in this account, even though you can log in the vCenter account with the same ID or other components also. That is called single sign-on. One user account will help you to open many of the applications. So these are the registered machines. So you don't have, or it is not showing right now. This is for the administrator. So administrator wanted to do any changes for the user account roles and configuration. You can
Mm-hmm.
check from here. If you wanted to add user, you can add user from here. You can add.
But usually, like the offshore team, they usually do it, right? Using adding users, all those things.
Yes, yes.
Uh,
Let's say this is for the administrator purpose. Like if I wanted
mm-hmm.
to give you access, I will give you access to open it. right? Open an administrator account, sorry, Horizon account, and if I wanted to give you permission full, so you will be operating everything the way I am showing you. But most of the case, if I am giving this account, if I am giving permission for this user account, I mean for the Horizon, I will understand first how the user is. If the user is very new to the environment, if he is not much familiar, I will stop giving permission for this view configuration. He can able to see the configuration, but he cannot do any changes.
Okay.
I can make that account in such way.
Okay.
So you can see from the first one, the roles. So these are the settings you can make, you can configure. You can manage global policies, configurations. I mean, manage global sessions. You can manage everything. If I'm if I do uncheck from here, see, even though you don't have administrator permissions, everything is grayed out. Why? Because you don't have permissions to
Because no
make,
permission, yeah.
you don't have permission to make these changes.
Mm.
Because it can be a permission to, because you don't need to do anything for this. Might be the offshores guys, they are handling everything from here. How?
Got it.
Because they might have, they will be like, according to the ticket, according to the requirement, they used to make some changes. Let's say now new admin guy comes in, so they will give permission according to their knowledge and their experience. And it's all about how the team is trying to, like, let's say your manager says, let's let Janet give all the permissions which is required, and he need to operate all the things because he knows everything. He must have all the permission. He wanted to do some changes anyway. So in that way you can have all the permissions here.
Okay. I understand this part, yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
So thin app, I don't think you will be having any thing here. This is add repository, cloud prod architect. It is something else that is for cloud, for the Linux purpose, like where you can configure your other NSX environment or cloud environment. Even configuration, yeah, these are the SQL server. From this SQL server you can try login, and if you have many of the, if you wanted to remove many of the logs or many of the events, you can remove from there, or even you can go to the database server directly by putting this name to the on the RDP. If you have permissions, you can able to log in here and see what most of the times what happen here. There must be a very big log which always give issues to get login to the VDI or itself to the Horizon server. You will face this issue after a year or 2 years, because most of the events files or log files will get very big, and it will not. I remember that you've been as you worked as a SQL admin, right?
Little bit, yeah.
Yes.
Like I have the idea.
Okay. So what happened in that scenario? The database size will get increased because the log size getting increased day by day, because most of the activities always comes in. So most of the logs will also there, events also there. So all those the events and logs and all the events comes in the Horizon. It will goes into the database. So that is why the database size get increased. In one scenario you have to reduce that size. If you don't reduce the size, you will face many of the problem. I also seen that problem in my last case. The vCenter will not vCenter is not accepting to get login. So I tried.
Then performance will go down. The
Yeah,
system will be slow.
many things can happen.
Many things, yeah.
So in that way you need to go to the database and purge the database.
There will be deadlock, block
Yes,
issues.
yes. So that way we need to purge the database, And what purge is does, some of the like logs will get erased completely from the server.
Mm-hmm.
So it will start from the beginning. So that scenario will also come, and need to be prepared for that. And let me check this as these desktop sessions, and I will see one, sorry, not this, floating machine. Let's come to the inventory. I'll copy this name. It does not copy. Does not. Okay, VDI X at the end is 0010. Let me come to the vCenter.
So you don't write any script or anything, right? You don't, like in the VMware environment, you don't have to write a scripting thing.
No. Scripting things also comes in a picture where if something is wrong with the, like, what I can say, appliances. Let's say
Okay.
if your ESXi server, this is the IP address for the. Let me go. Where's the IP address? Let me go a little bit down. Okay, once you log into the ESXi servers, you will
Mm-hmm.
find the black screen. There you can see lots of commands which need to be, which is required to work on. So in that way, you need to have a very good knowledge of commands, and that commands are related to the Linux. They are the Linux command actually, but they are not completely Linux command. They must be, they're little bit different, but similar to Linux. So let's say if you wanted to check IP address, there is a IP address command for this, for the Windows, that is config, IP config. But there will be a command to check IP configuration, that is if config.
Mm-hmm.
So if config is also same. It also works on a Linux, and if config also works on the ESR server. So there will be some little bit different. I can say 5% different from the Linux, but it is similar to this Linux. If you know Linux environment, Linux, I can say the commands, you will be very familiar with the ESXi servers commands. But anyway, if you wanted to go in very depth to understand
Mm-hmm.
ESXi server, in that way, in that scenario, you require to understand Linux. But I don't think it is required here, because
Mm-hmm.
you have a team, and you will be, if they will also have a good idea. If they don't, it's not that much required. But if you wanted to go into
Mm-hmm.
depth of the servers, then in that scenario you require to understand the Linux environment just to operate.
Okay.
Okay, and I wanted to see the IP address. Let me go to the network, the management, the management
Oh,
network.
so this network thing is complicated. I
No,
don't get it.
you will get,
What they
you will
talk
understand.
about? They talk about ports, all these numbers. I don't know. Like they
No,
they keep talking about like port thing.
yeah, actually, I was in middle of the phase. I wanted to explain that thing, but somehow it was 3 o'clock
Mm-hmm.
in the morning. We left session last time, you remember? So it was 3 o'clock, and you wanted to go early morning somewhere. So I was in between to explain all the network
Oh
things.
yeah, yeah, I remember. Yeah, I
So we
remember.
left in
Yeah,
between. So anyway,
right,
we
right.
will try next time, and I will explain you better way where you can understand the networking things.
Okay.
S- So the Horizon things is just about to complete, and okay, there will be some major things I will explain you later. Let me check
Okay,
whether
no
whether
problem.
whether I can make it right now. Okay, give me a minute.
Sure. From tomorrow, I'm gonna be sitting next to my manager.
I understand. I have heard
Mhm.
that your conversation, and just be confident and try to don't.
Most of the time he's not here, like
Okay,
here in his desk. He is like busy with meetings. He
okay,
forgets a
okay.
lot.
So what I will suggest you.